At Mexico. Mexico is under the crooked control of Porfirio Diaz. U.S. businesses, American corporations, have a strong presence in Mexico and support Diaz's dictatorship. But in 1910, the people, fed up with the corruption, overthrow Diaz under the leadership of Madero. Madero promises true democracy and denounces the involvement, the power of American corporations in Mexico. And so America then supports Huerta, who is a counter-revolutionary. This had been one of Diaz's generals in 1913. We want to go back to the old dictatorship that supported American corporations. When Madero is murdered, Wilson refuses to recognize the Huerta government because it turns out they're really crooked and violent and awful. But U.S. businessmen continue to fund Huerta's military dictatorship. Carranza arises to fight against Huerta in a second revolution. So it's kind of going back and forth here between the dictatorships and these reformers who want to bring democracy to Mexico. American sailors are briefly detained in Tampico, Mexico, but they're released fairly quickly. Wilson demands that Mexico show that they're sorry for this by issuing a 21-gun salute to the American flag. Huerta, who's angry because Wilson will not support him, he's the dictator at this time, refuses to do it. And so Wilson, because they won't salute our flag, sends the U.S. Marines down to seize control of the Mexican coastal city of Veracruz. 126 Mexicans die, while there are only 19 American casualties. It appears that we're on the brink of war with Mexico at this time. Wilson desperately tries to back down to keep us out of war with Mexico, but the revolutionary Carranza seizes control of Mexico City, of DF. Huerta flees the country. Carranza rejects U.S. aid and advice and infuriates Wilson, who sees Mexico as kind of a client state of the United States. At this point now, we have three revolutionary leaders: Carranza, who controls the capital, and Zapata and Villa. Now, Zapata and Villa are kind of generals in the countryside who support an even more socialist, kind of bordering on communist vision of land redistribution. Wilson, not wanting to get behind Carranza, will briefly support Villa. We'll come to see Villa as the answer. Villa looks likely to lose, and so when Villa looks like he's not going to end up in control of the country, Wilson cuts him loose and stops supporting him, and then it shifts to supporting Carranza because Carranza's winning. In January of 1916, Villa, angry that America has cut off aid to his troops, will shoot 16 American citizens in Mexico. Then he will invade New Mexico and kill 17 more American citizens. Carranza agrees to allow an army led by General Blackjack Pershing, an American army, into the Sonoran Desert in Mexico to chase Villa. They never find Villa or his troops, but twice they actually get into battles with Carranza's army. That's who gave him permission to be there. 40 Mexicans and 12 American soldiers are killed in these battles. The dust in the Sonoran Desert gives the Americans this interesting look, and so they gain the nickname Doughboys, one of the kind of enduring nicknames of American soldiers. U.S. and Mexico stand at the brink of war, but eventually America agrees to back off and recognize the legitimacy of Carranza's government, particularly as the situation spirals out of control in Europe and distracts our attention from the situation in Mexico. Villa, by the way, will go on to live a fascinating life. He will go out, continue to, I guess I should say. He'll go out to Hollywood, for example, and star in a movie about his life. This is while he's wanted for killing 33 Americans in America. He still manages to do this, all the while hiding from the police. He's really a really interesting guy.